All right, we are now looking at KC6. So we are looking at target 6A. In target 6A, right, we're going to understand similarity in terms of transformations in the coordinate plane. So looking at 6A.1, I determine the scale factor and center of dilation by comparing the pre-image and the image. So our important parts here are, we're going to be talking about scale factor and a center of a dilation. So those are some of our important things in this master learning objective. So since it is the beginning of a unit, we are going to be starting with a lot of vocab, so bear with it. So what is a dilation? A dilation is a transformation where a figure reduces, and by reduces I mean gets smaller or enlarges, gets bigger. Okay. So basically a figure is staying the same shape, it's just changing size. So if we look at over here, I know it's a little blurry, sorry about that, but this shows a dilation. I have one figure and it's getting smaller or getting bigger. This one happens to be getting bigger, and I'll show you why in a second. So then, we have what we call the pre-image. The pre-image is the figure before the dilation. Okay, so in this picture, the red triangle is our pre-image. That's where it started. And then our image is the figure after the dilation. Who knows why? Figure after the dilation. So the blue image, the blue triangle is what we would call our image. Okay, so it starts here, and then this red triangle really becomes the blue triangle. This isn't two different triangles. One is becoming the other. Okay, we just can't show time on a piece of paper. All right, looking at some other vocab. Our next word is scale factor. Okay, so what is our scale factor? Our scale factor is the amount. So scale factor is a number why can't I write number? Okay, so it won't let me write them. A number. I don't understand. Okay, that's an M. A number. By which the image grows or shrinks or gets larger or smaller, right? So for this, we also use the variable K to show our scale factor. Okay. So an enlargement would be, makes sense, the image gets bigger. And that occurs when k is greater than 1. So if your scale factor is greater than 1, your image is getting bigger. Then we have a reduction, which is where the image gets smaller. I can spell smaller. Smaller. And it occurs when, and we say 0 is less than k, which is less than 1. And all that really means is k has to be between 0 and 1 in order for it to be reduction. One thing that's important to note when I look at this is that my scale factor can never be negative. If it's bigger than 1 or if it's between 0 and 1, right, it's either an enlargement or reduction, but it can never be less than 0. Okay, so it can never be negative. And then we have what we call our center of dilation. And our center of dilation is the point around which the image grows or shrinks. And another point about this, just for this class, this isn't true of all dilations, but the ones we are going to look at, we will always have a center of 0, 0. Okay, so our center of dilation will always be at the origin, right at that 0, 0 point. Okay, so just looking back at our picture, some of the things about scale factor, right? I know this is an enlargement because this says our scale factor is 2. So it's taking this picture and making it bigger. It is an enlargement. It got bigger. 2 is greater than 1. Okay? And then what these lines are showing is how you find the center. Okay, I find my center by connecting the 2 points, right, that go together in the triangle, and where they all intersect, or where they all meet, right, is your center. So we can tell that that is how we get the center. And we'll be looking at that a little more in our examples. Okay, so turn the page. We have 4 examples like this that we are going to look at. Okay. Example 1. Determine the scale factor and center from JKLM to J prime, K prime, L prime, M prime. Okay, so I want to know what's the image, what's the pre-image, and what's the image. Okay, we're always going from the pre-image, so this has to be the pre, to the image. Okay. So the first thing I want to know is this a reduction or is this an enlargement? Well, my pre-image, and I'm actually going to change colors to show my pre-image is the blue one. Okay, so my pre-image is this blue one, and then it went to this. So my pre-image is bigger going to my smaller image, so this is a reduction. Okay, the image got smaller. Now I want to find my scale factor. Okay, and again, we use K to represent our scale factor. So how do we find our scale factor? Our scale factor equals our image divided by our pre-image. Okay. Our image divided by our pre-image. So all we're going to do is we're going to choose any point on here. Okay, and I'm going to start with my image. In this case, it's the red one. And I'm going to choose the point M for no reason. I like the letter M, I guess. So K equals, so again, my image, I have, my point M is at -1, -1. And then in my pre-image, my point M here, right, it's over 2 down 2. So it's at -2, -2. So then I'm just dividing, and I really only have to look at the x or y. I just think it's easiest just to set up as a point. If I divided 1 divided by 2, or in this case, -1 divided by -2, looking at both the x's and the y's, I would get 1/2. So my scale factor here is 1/2. One thing to point out, it does not matter which point you use, right? I just chose M for fun. Okay. So then we need to look at my center, where my center is. So again, I'm going to draw those lines that connect, right? In this case, J and J prime. I can keep going. K and K prime. M and M prime. And L and L prime. Okay? Where do all those lines meet? Right there. And that's how we find our center. Okay? Like I said, in this case, it's always going to be 0, 0, but it's good to know how to find that. All right, looking at number 2. This one doesn't tell us which one is the image and which one is the pre-image, but we're going to assume the color scheme's the same. So I'm going to go with my blue one is my pre-image. So I'm going to put that this is the pre, and that the red one's the image. That didn't change. That was supposed to be red. Okay, so the image is bigger than the pre-image, so the image got bigger. So this is an enlargement. Okay. So usually I will say from this to this. Sorry that example 2 does not have that. But this, we're going to say this is an enlargement. So I'm going to find my scale factor. Okay, again, equals image over pre-image. I'm going to choose this point, these points where my points are. In my image, the red goes right on top for this one. My point is -6, 6. My pre-image on the blue one, my point is -4 and then 4. Right, just going over 4, up 4. So I can divide either my x or my y. I can look at both to check. All right, -6 divided by -4 equals 3/2. 6 divided by 4 also equals 3/2. So that's fine. Okay. Then again, just showing how we get our center. I'm going to draw those lines from each point to its friend point, I guess. We would call it a corresponding point. So here our center is also 0, 0. All right, just 2 more examples. Okay, whatever. I'll pretend. Example 3, determine the scale factor from ABC to A prime, B prime, C prime. So ABC, we're going to call my pre-image. So this one's the pre. And then A prime, B prime, C prime is going to be my image, because that's what I'm going to. Okay, so this is my image. So again, here my image got bigger. It's bigger than my first one. So this is an enlargement. Okay. K equals the image divided by the pre-image. So K equals your image divided by your pre-image. Then I'm going to, K equals, I need to find a point in my image. And I'm going to use point C, or A, sorry. Oh, I was thinking A. Why not? Yeah, you could use point C, whatever. I'm going to use point A. So this is the point in my image, right? And that point is at 6, right, over 6, up 3. And then I'm going to find the same point in my pre-image, right, A here, and that's over 2, up 1. So then I can divide either my x or my y, again, doesn't matter. So k equals, all right, 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 divided by 1 is also 3. All right, example 4. Determine the scale factor and center from ABC to A prime, B prime, C prime. Remember, my from is my pre-image. Which I'm just going to draw over this because these colors, with this question or this picture switched colors on me. So that's my pre-image to my image. Okay, so I went from the pre-image to the image. So this is a reduction. My image got smaller. And then, again, k equals image over pre-image. So, in this case, k equals, let's choose point B for this one. Why not? So, image first. My image is my B prime. That's, if you look at these, it's really over 1, up 1. Changed. Wait, image is red. This one. So it's 1, 1. And in my pre-image, same point, point B, right? It's 3, 3. I can divide either my x or my y. I just go with the x. So k equals 1, which makes sense because it is a reduction. All right, that is it for A2.